how many of us have actually taken that leap of faith or tried to achieve those dreams? Okay, lovely. Now, how many of us sitting here can say that we've actually already probably achieved the dreams or goals that we set for ourselves? Okay, amazing. And lastly, how many of us here are still figuring out what our dream, goal, purpose, all of that, what it even is? Perfect. Now, honestly, none of these have a right or wrong answer. It's possible that each one of us here goes through one of these stages at some point in our life or the other, right? And I did as well. Okay, so now growing up, following were the lines that I standardly heard, whether it was at home, school, college, wherever. Okay, number one, do only what your heart desires. Number two, set a goal and then work all your life towards achieving it. And number three, only define your dreams and goals for yourself. Do not allow anybody else to influence it. Now, as much as we read this everywhere, it rings in your head and you try to abide it. Let me tell you, this is so much easier just said than actually done. Now, till the age of 24, till I was 24, I'm 32 now, but till the age of 24, my goal and my dream was changing every single day. Okay, either every day or yearly. So, at 24, I would look around me and I would see people, kind of like knowing exactly where they want to go and what they wanted to do. And I had zero idea. So, when I was growing up in school, I very seriously wanted to be a lawyer. But when I went to college, I wanted to be an actress. And when I finished college, I joined the field of event management. But when I got my first job, it was in marketing and PR. And today, what am I? I'm a professional dancer. And what I like to very proudly call myself, a dancepreneur. I am the co-founder of a dance company which is called the Yellow Stripe Dance Co. It is based in New Delhi. And we have a global presence now as well. We have a wedding choreography department which is ranked within the top 3 in India, and I would like to believe globally as well. And simultaneously, I'm also a content creator and hopefully influencing people in the right way. So, as crazy as this sounds, I went genuinely from lawyer to actress to planning people's weddings to marketing for really big brands and eventually finding my dream in dance. And let me tell you, this is very normal. So if any of us are going to go through this or are going through this is normal, you're normal, I'm normal. Now, you may ask me how. So I'm going to explain my very interesting journey, which will probably help explain this a little better. So I studied in one of Delhi's finest schools, Vasan Valley, and I was a very proud backbencher. I used to sit in the last row and play bingo all throughout my classes, to be honest. But during my exam time, I would study and be one of those who also scored like in her 80s and her 90s. And I was a sports enthusiast. I used to represent Delhi for athletics and badminton. And I think that it was that sports exposure which also gave me like this fierce go-getter attitude, which is today translated into my professional life as well. So anyway, I graduated from school in 2008. And then I decided to go study abroad at the University of Nottingham in the UK to do my undergrad. Now let me pause and tell you that when you make a decision like this, you know you're spending a lot of money on your education. So the pressure of, I am spending this much money on my education, I better be ready to do something with it, starts building exactly here on. So I went to college, I came back to India in 2011. And like any other 20-year-old, I was like, now what do I do next? What do I do next? And again, like I said, because I came from the pressure of being in one of Delhi's finest schools, spending a lot of my parents' money on my education, I almost had to prove to myself or to other people that look, I'm not wasting my education. Okay, so when you're a 20, 21, 22-year-old who has no set goal, what do? You grab at any opportunity that's coming your way, and that's exactly what I did. So I landed a job in marketing and PR, and I had I remember I had an initial salary of 20,000. What was my reaction initially? Wow, I finished college, I've got a job, I'm earning out of it, life is great. But ultimately, that went on for a while, a year or two. And then there was this gnawing unease inside me. It was discomfort, it was dissatisfaction. It's not like I hated what I was doing. I was growing in that field as well. But there was something missing in my life, even though I didn't know what it was. Now as youngsters, what happens is, because of the pressure, we don't think it's okay to take a break. We don't think it's okay to step aside and think about our goals, think about, is this what I really want to do? Should I try something else? No, we work on robotic mode. So I would work, earn, work, earn, work, earn. Until one day, and I am not making this story up, in the middle of the night at 2 a.m., I had this random thought, like you know how you think when you're sleeping, that I want to be a dancer. I want to pursue dance. Now, I had been dancing as a hobby since I was a child, like lock your room, dance on the bed, school competitions, college competitions. I also got the dancing queen award in school. But it was always a hobby. No one told me that dance could also be a career. So I had this random thought at 2 a.m. I woke up the next morning, and at that time you would open Facebook every morning. I opened Facebook, again repeating, I am not making this story up. The first thing on my homepage on Facebook was an ad by the Shiamak Institute of Performing Arts. And it was an ad for a one-year program that was going to start in Mumbai, where they would basically train budding dancers who wanted to take up dance as a career. So imagine me staring at my screen after I've had this 2 a.m. thought and watching this ad on my screen. Now the catch was that the last audition for it was exactly 24 hours later in Mumbai. Now I'm staring at it and I'm like, what do I do? But it was almost like something just took over me. I went to my parents and I said, look, I want to go to Mumbai and give this audition. Now imagine from a parent's point of view. For them, it was like a well-settled daughter who's pretty much doing well, suddenly wants to go to Mumbai and dance. Okay, so it took a little bit of convincing, but all on the basis of my intuition and my gut. I took the first flight out 24 hours later and I made it to that audition in Mumbai. Long story short, I made it through the audition, I got selected for the program. Now what did this mean? This meant that at the age of 24, 25, I had to drop my entire career that I had made in Delhi and I had to shift to Mumbai on the basis of intuition without knowing where dance would probably lead me. Now I'm going to say that this was the hardest but the easiest decision of my life. Hardest because I had to make a choice. Either I could stick to my career in Delhi and let go of this new opportunity that was coming my way and probably regret it, or I could let go of my entire career and start all over again without knowing where it would probably lead me. Okay, so the opportunity cost. And I would say it's like the choice of holding on to something or letting go. And I'm pretty sure all of us have gone through that in personal lives more or professional lives, right? And that's the choice I had to make. Hold on or let go. But at the same time, contrary to what I said, hardest decision, it was the easiest decision because it was almost like my inner voice or my inner self knew this is what I'm going to do. I wanted to dance and I was going to do it. And it was like this sudden confidence and I was like, this is exactly what I want to do. This is that dream that I wanted to chase even if it took me 24 years of my life to realize it. So I made the choice of letting go and starting over from zero. Now obviously starting over is very, very scary. It was at this stage when I made this really big decision in my life that I realized that, all those things we spoke about in the beginning, that follow your heart, do your own thing, all of that, it comes with rules and conditions attached. Now, I thought that a person's dream or goal is a person's dream or goal. Now, there's nothing rules or conditions attached to it. But apparently I was wrong because at that point of time, all I knew was people saying that these dreams and these goals should fall within certain boundaries. They should fall in the stream of normal, mainstream, respectable. And apparently, according to people, the word dance or the career dance doesn't fall under any of those categories. People didn't understand that how can dance, how can an art form be the ultimate goal of someone's life? Like how? And especially, unfortunately and sadly I have to say this, especially when you're a girl. Now, at this point, I was so confused, but I was like, okay, I'm going to do what I want to do. right? So keep this point in mind and come back to my story. I took up the course, I shifted to Mumbai, I completed the course, and I eventually got selected to be an instructor at the Shiamak Institute. So I took up that job and I worked with him for about a year. But honestly, I always knew when I made this decision that my ultimate goal was something else. I wanted to be a dance entrepreneur, and I really wanted to encourage other girls to take up this career if they wanted to. So once I left in 2017, along with a very close friend of mine back then, and today also my husband, Utsav, I started the Yellow Stripe Dance Tour. Again, another decision based on gut and instinct. Okay, we just started this company. We opened our studio with whatever little savings we had, and with our parents' support as well. We were a team of 2 and a very small studio based in New Delhi. Now, I was very lucky at this point that I had parent support as well as support of friends and family. But I'm not going to lie, this support when it comes to you, it will come with certain concerns and apprehensions still. So I remember hearing concerns like, how is she going to be perceived in society? How is she ever going to be independent? Because apparently dancers don't earn money. How is she ever going to get married into a respectable family? Who will marry her? Like, how will society perceive that she goes around teaching people how to dance? So these were the kind of concerns that I heard at that point. And the most important thing that I heard very often was, isn't she just wasting all her education? Now, I just want to say here, like I'm just going to take a pause here and maybe it throws people, you guys can throw some light on this. I've never understood why an artist or a dancer does not need to be educated. Like, how does that even make sense? If today I'm running a company, I do the administration, I do the accounting, I have a team, I have team building skills, I have communication skills, I have marketing skills, I have branding skills. Isn't that all coming from my education? Okay, forget all this. The fact that I know which muscle to move when I'm dancing, I've studied that as well. That also comes from my education. So this is an added point that always confuses me why it's a perception that he or she is a dancer or an artist, probably not educated. Anyway, so we opened YSDC in 2017, and within 3 years of the company opening, we had a global presence, and we worked really hard at it and made sure that it had a global presence. And we went from a team of 2 to a team of 12. We went from a really small studio to a really, really big studio in Delhi, and I just want to say that in all of this, one thing that I realized is that who defines what normal is? Who tells you what mainstream is? Who can tell you where your goals should lie, and who can tell you where your happiness should lie? Now, at the cost of sounding very preachy and again dramatic, like those follow your heart desire lines, I will say this. I will say that you should be able to decide. You can decide. And that's exactly what I did as well. And I think it takes a little bit of self-belief, a little bit of grit to stick to what you want to do. But if you really want to do it, you possibly can. And I'm not saying that I've done something extraordinary in my life. Honestly, I haven't. But there are people out there who are doing so much more amazing stuff, you know, and things that you look at and you're like, wow. But I just feel like in today's world, if you can even stick to your dream and your goal, that's struggle enough, that's making it big enough. And on the fact that, like how I said that, you know, we girls struggle in the industry, so I'll just put it on the screen for you guys as well. Recently we put a small reel on Instagram, okay, and it went viral all over Instagram. That was not our intention. Our intention was to bring about, you know, a few things that we feel every day as this is being our career. But I'll show it to you and then we'll talk about it. Can we? This is just a reel, so it's like.
Okay, so could you guys read most of it? I know it went pretty fast, but real world, what to do. Okay, so initially when we made this video, it was personal to us. Everything that was written above every girl is actually personal to her. So when we put up this video, the reel wasn't what made us realize what was wrong in society. It was actually the responses that we got to it. So there was a certain section of girls who commented almost grieving that they couldn't take these stands and they couldn't break any of these stereotypes, and saying, I wish we could have done this. And then there was a section of girls who would reply saying that this is the video we will probably take to our parents and show, because we have no other way of convincing them to allow us to take up dance as a career. Okay, and now talking about the world of Instagram, which is an amazing world on its own, I also got married 6 months ago. Now when I got married, I'm a dancer. My husband is also a dancer. So I'll let you answer, what do you think we did at our wedding? Exactly, right? So dance. And when I was getting married, I made this decision, okay, that I'm not going to wear heels for any of my functions because I want to dance. So I was like, I'm going to wear sneakers. And this was my decision and I stuck to it no matter what, right? So I wore sneakers. Now, I wore sneakers because of my comfort, because I wanted to dance. I did not think that after my wedding, this was going to be splattered all over the internet, and it was. Again, with a positive side and a negative side. So the positive was that, oh wow, like she's doing exactly what she wanted to do as a bride. She's worn sneakers, she doesn't care about, sticking to norms, and it's amazing. A lot of girls appreciated it. And then there was the negative side that came, that, oh my God, you're so shameless, and you've broken how a bride or a woman should look and be at her wedding. And trust me, this side was obviously larger than the positive side that we got, right? So again, I didn't know this was another stereotype I was breaking unintentionally. I didn't even know that there's a certain way a woman is supposed to behave at her own wedding. Okay, so this was another crazy thing that happened. And then this led to another whole controversy, that I chose the unconventional path of working all my life, giving my career more importance, and getting married at the age of 32. So apparently, again, I broke another stereotype there. I went unconventional. Again, I don't understand. I chose my career and my ambition because I wanted to be independent. There is no right or wrong in when you choose to get married, right? That's what I thought, at least. But again, that was also the most common DM that I've got is, why did you get married so late? Okay, so that was all of these things. So as a dancer, you're not just struggling to make it to the top of your career. You're actually struggling to explain to people that it is a career, that this is what I do and this is what I'm going to continue to do. And little did I know when I took up, this career, that I would be breaking stereotypes one by one without even realizing it. One, stereotypes about how a woman should conduct her professional life. According to me, you can be as independent, choose whatever career option you like, and be answerable to nobody. Stereotypes about how and when a woman should get married. There is no time-bound rule, according to me. This is all my perception, guys. According to me, there is no time-bound rule. It is what you choose. Early, late, it's all good. Stereotypes about how women should look and dress. Now, as dancers, we're often told, oh, you're a dancer, so I think dancers dress fab. And 4, stereotypes about how women should balance her personal and her professional life. Now, according to me, if I go home at 11 p.m. at night because my work held me up, it does not make me a bad mother, wife, daughter, or any of that. And lastly, stereotypes about how a dance form an art form like dance can actually be a respected, dignified, and an appreciated and stable career. And I just want to say that I do not feel any less respected or dignified or any less independent standing here. And lastly, all of this came to me with time, with a lot of hard work. So how you would work as an engineer, a doctor, or whatever career field there is in this world, as a dancer, you need to work the same amount. We train every single day of our lives. We wait a long time before the art form actually becomes natural to us and we can actually make a career out of it. So when you hear the term success comes to those who work hard at it, it applies to us as well. It applies to every single field. And before I go today, I'm just going to take you through, I'm going to use the word funda in life, my funda in life, which is, I call it the 3P rule. P for pig. Okay, so passion, perseverance, and patience. And without sounding preachy again, my example, passion. I had a passion for dance. It was innate to me, and I made the choice of making my passion my career. Perseverance, I persisted no matter what was thrown at me, at what point of time in my life. I persisted, I made sure I worked hard, blocked opinions out, and I made it here today. And lastly, patience. Trust me, it has taken years to earn this respect. It has taken years to actually even earn a living or money out of this career. And I just want to say here that when people say that as an artist, or any unconventional path you choose, you possibly can't earn money out of it. I am 32, like I said. I can afford my own house, my own car, my own expenses, and I can give back to my parents, not because they asked, because it's something I want to do. And honestly, all the people who made those judgments years ago and threw them at me, they're the same people who talk about me with pride today. And if anyone here has had that 2 a.m. thought like I did, I'm sure someone has, like a random thought at night being like, this is what I want to do, but should I do it or not do it? Don't shrug it off, because you don't know where it could lead you or not lead you, but at least try it out. So remember the whole beginning that we spoke about, your dream. Keep it close to your heart, because in my world, I would say, and it should be in everybody's world, a dream is a dream, a goal is a goal. It has absolutely no rules and conditions attached to it. Okay, so good luck to all of you. Good luck to all of you in this journey of eventually achieving whatever it is you set out to achieve. And if you ever get stuck, you can maybe remember me and remember passion, perseverance, and patience. Good luck, guys. Dream on. Thank you so much.